I was calling CEOs, and in the process, I set up an appointment with a guy who was all excited. He qualified, all this kind of stuff. When I got to his office, suddenly he wasn't available. He sent me to HR. Now that's the kiss of death because I was looking to train him. I was not looking to be a fitness person for his company or anything like that. And sometimes CEOs would do that if they just want to blow me off. And so I met with HR, and it was frustrating. I asked her a couple times, "Is there any way he can join us?" And she said no. So I finished the meeting, and I'm walking towards the elevator. And as I get, she's walking with me. She punches the button for the elevator. She looks at me with this big smile, and she says, "You're going to get your chance. This is him coming the other way, and I know he's going down the elevator." So we get in the elevator, and he realized who I was, and he said, a sort of an apology, and then he said, "What do you do?" And I'd already talked to him on the phone, but I went through my 3 second elevator speech. That's all the time I had. We were going down one floor. That was it. And I knew he didn't have any time, and so I left it at what I'm going to teach you in just a second, a 3 second intro. I left it at that. We stepped outside the elevator, and he starts asking me questions. Ah, asking me questions is perfect. That's what the elevator speech is supposed to do. But by now, he had pretty much already disqualified himself. And I'm going to explain that in just a second. This is going to be fast paced. This is a mini teaching training session. Take notes, turn off the cell phone, apply everything I'm going to tell you, and it will change your business. I can guarantee it. Now, if you're worried about death by PowerPoint, that's not going to happen. We got 4 slides, and no one dies from 4 slides in PowerPoint. So, a unique value proposition. Why should I do business with you, given all the other alternatives I have, including doing nothing at all? And sometimes it's called the elevator speech. And as I just described to you, I actually had to use it once, and that was really fascinating. So it works. So here we go. The first thing you want to do is realize that this thing in the middle here is the intro, your unique value proposition. Everything stems out from that. Let's start up here. You've got 3 seconds to get people's attention. 3 seconds. And that's the extent of our attention span in today's world. Open a website, you get 3 seconds to figure out what they do, and close your computer. If you don't know what they do in 3 seconds, they have not been very good at getting their unique value proposition out there. The other way I want you to think of this is you're in a room of 1,000 people, and they all are looking for something very close to your business, but they're not sure what. And there's 20 other people like you with businesses, trainers, whatever. And you're all going to walk across stage, and you can tell the audience what you do. You're going to have a lot of really weird things like I run Joe's Gym, I teach yoga, blah, 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 blah. We want you to do something different than that so that you stand out. And you've got 3 seconds. And I could give you some examples later on. And if you have a question on one of yours and you want to add it to the chat, I'll answer it. Okay, you got 3 seconds. The goal in 3 seconds is to get their attention. Tell them what you do. 3 seconds. Mine's actually 4.7 seconds. We've timed it over and over and over again. If they ask you questions, you go on to the 10 second. If they don't ask you questions about what you just said, they're not interested. They're not a prospect. They are disqualified. 3 seconds. You can qualify or disqualify a person based on a good intro. If they ask you questions and you think they're qualified, you go on to a 10-second intro. And stop. If they ask questions and show interest, go on to a 30-second. If they say, "Oh, that's nice, I do this and this and this," they're not interested. Very important to understand how effective and powerful this is. Now, you got to get it right at the beginning or you won't know for sure. 30 seconds. If they have more interest, have a 30-second follow-up intro ready to go. Sometimes you need a 90-second. Not always, because what you're really trying to do is get an appointment. Now, you could also have an optional 10-minute. That's really a time when you talk in detail about what the person really wants. That's an exchange, and I'll go over this in just a minute, greater details. Exchange back and forth. And then sometimes, instead of the 10-minute thing, depending on where you are, you'll have a cup of coffee. That's what I used to do. all the time. I still do it. I still like that. It can be a virtual cup of coffee in today's world. In the old world, it was an actual cup of coffee. Let's review. 3-second intro to get their attention. That's it. What do you do? Then you follow up with a 10-second, a 30-second, a 90-second optional. Be ready in case they want more information. But if you're, by the way, if you're at a networking group and you are there to meet people, don't spend more than that. Don't go past this 90 seconds with anybody. Move on to someone else. And the way you would handle that, would you say, you know, I want to meet some other people. Grab your calendar, phone, whatever. Let's schedule a time and we can get together. And then you schedule a time and you either have the 10-minute conversation or the 30-minute cup of coffee if you're really exploring this. So there you go. Okay, let's dig in deeper. Okay, so we took the very same thing and just expanded it. Now, because I'm working on a very small screen, I'm going to need to use my glasses here to make sure I keep it all straight. 3 seconds. What's your unique value proposition? Your goal is to go to the 10-second. If they are interested, and they'll let you know because they'll ask a question. Now, in 10 seconds, you say your VIP, your unique value proposition. You say that in different words, and you add some more words to it or whatever, but you keep this whole thing under 10 seconds. Goal, if they're qualified, you go to the 30-second. 30 seconds, you repeat your unique value proposition again, and you do that by talking about social proof, transformation. One of your clients has had something like that. And if you go into the 90-second, you again repeat your unique value proposition, social proof, suggest a meeting, use different words, and maybe even ask a question. So let me go through an example of that. What do? I help people look better, feel better, have more energy, and be more productive. That's 4.7 seconds. And my prospect says, how do you do that? Well, I help people look better, feel better, have more energy, be more productive, because I set up individualized programs for them to help them live a healthier life. And if they're not interested in that, I've got nothing for them. In fact, let me go back to the 3-second. I help people look better, feel better, have more energy, be more productive. Well, I'm not interested in that. Then I've got nothing for you because that's what I do. Now, if I say I'm at Joe's gym, that doesn't tell a person what I do. So unique value proposition has to talk about what you do. Now, you can use these other little cues here to ask questions. You get to your 90-second interview. I help people look better, feel better, have more energy, be more productive. You know how some people just get stuck and they just don't move off dead center with their fitness program, and pretty soon years, decades go by. I'm asking a question. My prospect says, yeah, I am. Yeah. I say, well, I help them get over that. I help them get through that. And so they're no longer stuck. In fact, I just finished working with a client, Duffy, and we had some amazing results. I'd like to sit down and show you how we could do the same for you. Does that sound like a good plan? That's my 90 seconds. Now, again, they went through the 3-second, the 10-second, the 30-second. We got to the 90-second. We're going to go off. We're going to go off and have a 10-minute or a coffee meeting to really sell the program. But we've qualified people. First 3-4 steps. That's all qualification. Anytime anybody deviates from that and they stop asking questions or expressing interest, they're not interested. Somebody says, yeah, I worked out with Joe Schmo for a while, and next thing I know, I spent a lot of money and nothing really happened, so I gave up on the whole thing. The only solution you possibly got there, have you given up for life or just for the time being? And see what they say. Okay, so how do you figure out what you do? What do you do? How do you figure it out? Well, I run the gym, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I love to go to a gym. My question is, what happens in this gym? Well, people work out. No, what happens? And that's a fascinating thing because people don't think in terms of that transformation. If we look at a typical gym, typical training program, typical business of any kind, could be lawn mowing. What do you offer? I mow the lawn. What's the benefit of mowing the lawn? It saves you time. It saves you energy. What's the outcome of me mowing your lawn? Well, I save you time, energy. Your lawn looks great. And what's the transformation? Well, If I mow your lawn, you can spend more time doing the things you want to do, knowing your house and grounds are beautiful. That's the transformation. People aren't buying the fact that I mow the lawn. They want to know how I mow the lawn and what the end result is for them. That is what happens. What happens when you come and mow my lawn? And a smart business person is going to be able to answer that question. What happens if you train someone? Look at your Google reviews. Look at what people say about you. When I train with Ron, I feel better. Okay, I help people feel better. At least that's what they tell me. And my prospects are going to say, oh, I want to feel better. I help people look better. I had somebody say to me once, you can't guarantee you help people look better. I said, you're right. I can't. In fact, I don't even claim it. But my clients all say that after working with me about 6-8 weeks, their friends all tell them they're looking better. So I can claim that I help people look better because that's what my clients say. And go to my Google reviews. You'll see it. All right. So let's review. What do you offer? What are your features and benefits? What happens as a result? What's the outcome of those features and benefits? And what's the transformation? That's what people are looking for. I'm going to go back real quickly to my first example. I help people look better, feel better, have more energy, be more productive. There's 4 transformations there. And if they're not interested in those, my program can't help them. And if they are not interested in those, there's no point in me trying to sell them. That's bad news. So go back. If you want a copy of these, by the way, if you want a copy of these slides, just send me a message afterwards. As you know from the original goof up here with the computer, for some reason, stuff didn't come through. But I'm going to share a link with you right now. We have created a completely brand new program in the Six Figure Trainers ecosystem. We've got something for everybody. And if you want to take advantage of that, go here and register. You'll see a couple different options. This link leads to the VIP, but there's 2 other levels there that including free, that you can join. We talk about this stuff all the time, and we expand upon it. We have a lot of fun too. And especially when things don't go right, because we know we're on the right track at that point. Okay, so this has been, I thank you for your time. This has been quite an adventure for me on this end because, like I just got done saying, everything goes wrong. I still don't know how I get out of here. So if you see me here for a long time, you know I'm confused. Remember, when things are not going according to plan, you're probably on the right track. We'll talk to you all soon. Stay tuned. Look for more mini training like this. I'd love to hear your thoughts on whether how well you